Good evening, good evening. Welcome to today's episode of Wednesdays with Pastor K. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so excited to be your host today, and I believe that we're gonna have an awesome time. Please indicate to me if you can hear me, and if you can see me very clearly, and if you are happy with my video quality, and we'll proceed from there. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm happy to spend the next few moments of my time with you. And I just want to also encourage you to please do the following for me: like the feed, share the feed, and comment. And let's get our world into this room. I would appreciate if you can share the feed and also probably maybe text somebody whom you would love for them to join in. And I'm so excited. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Tabo. I really appreciate that. Tabo's watching. Welcome, son. Tabo's watching on Facebook. Welcome. Good to see you, son. So yes, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and I'm really excited of what we are going to share tonight. It's just that it's too hot. How many of you can agree that it's very hot tonight? It is. It is. You know, what's the word I'm looking for? But it's so hot in such a way that I don't even know how to explain what is going on today. Even now, sitting here, I'm like, can I postpone this stream and just go stand outside because it's really, really hot? Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Awesome. I'm glad that you guys can hear me. Patricia says also you can hear me. Welcome, son. Good to see you. So yeah, last week we took some time to deliberate on the topic titled "Why Some People Struggle to Say I'm Sorry." And I believe that many were able to connect with the topic that we discussed last week. That there are many people who struggle with saying sorry, and we got to dive deeper onto reasons why people avoid saying sorry, because it's never easy to say sorry, and there are many people who don't find it easy to say sorry. Yeah. Tabo says, I'm feeling the heat too. This weather makes me realize the importance of buying a house with a swimming pool. It's coming, son. It's coming. That swimming pool is coming. That house with a swimming pool is coming. So let's quickly recap on last week. Why do many people avoid saying sorry? Why do many people avoid saying sorry? Number one, we said saying sorry makes you vulnerable. It makes you vulnerable, and that is why many people don't like saying sorry, because they feel vulnerable in doing that. And to some people, vulnerability is a weakness. Some view apologizing as a sign of weakness. Some people regard it as being weak when you say sorry, so they will hold on to their stance and to where they stand. And secondly, I got to say that saying sorry causes you to lower yourself, and that's why many people avoid saying sorry. It bruises one's ego. They want to protect their ego. That's why they never get to say sorry. And also, saying sorry is taking responsibility for our actions. And many people don't want to take responsibility for their actions. And number four, saying sorry causes you to be accountable to the person you are apologizing to. And many of us don't find that uh, really nice. Probably being accountable to somebody, we don't want that. And number five, it's a threat to their self image. That's why they don't say sorry, because they feel it's a threat to their image. And number six, to some people, it feels like a loss of power or control. And that is why people don't say sorry. It feels like it's a loss of power and loss of control. And that is why many people don't like saying sorry. And number seven, which was the last one, we said that some people struggle with expressing regret. They struggle with expressing regret, and that is why they never say sorry, because admitting wrongdoing can be difficult, especially when we are used to being right most of the time. Yeah. So I close by encouraging everybody watching that We've got to learn to master the courage to say sorry for our wrongdoings. Awesome. That's what we shared last week. In case you missed last week, and let's see who else is watching. I see Ayanda Mohadi Ayanda is watching on Facebook. Welcome, welcome, Mohadi. Good to see you. Awesome, awesome. I have not yet um, got to see the people that are watching on YouTube. I see there are people there, but I haven't. They're not showing yet on my side. But we'll welcome them as we see them. Awesome, awesome. And today I want us to talk about a very interesting topic, and I titled it, "You are the ultimate reflection of your thoughts." You are the ultimate reflection of your thoughts. How many of us that know that we are where we are because of our thought patterns? That's how we get to tomorrow. We get to tomorrow through how we think, or the thoughts we thought. And your mind dictates your life and outcomes. Your mind dictates your life and your outcomes. And today we are where we are because of what we thought about today. If you have tuned in today to Wednesdays with Pastor K, it's because you thought about it and you said, let me tune in. Our minds dictate our life and our outcomes. Welcome, welcome, Pilati. Good to see you. Pilati is watching on Facebook, and we have Dinero watching on YouTube. Welcome, daughter. Good to see you. Yeah. So welcome, guys. And taking control of your mind is taking control of your life. If you can take control of your mind, you can take control of your life. Many people are failing to take control of their lives because they can't take control of their minds. Your mind can mislead you if you entertain what it presents to you. You must be the engineer and the CEO of your mind. If you allow your mind to dictate what you do today, what you do tomorrow, then you can become a slave to your mind. And that is why today we've got to learn on how to control our mind and to also take control of our lives, because we can only take control of our lives if we can take control of our mind. There's no way you will control your life if you can't first control your mind, because what is happening in your life has first happened in your mind. And if you can't control things in your mind, then it's going to be difficult for you to control your life. There are many people who are doing things that they don't really want to do, but it's because they are entertaining what is flowing in their minds, and they end up doing wrong stuff. And that is why we've got to take a hold of our minds and control it and control our lives. We are all like an artist. That's how we are. We are all like an artist. We are painting a picture every single day. So we are responsible for creating our own exceptional reality, because we are all like an artist. And an artist will never put to paper what they have not seen as an impression in their mind, in their thoughts. So you've got to operate like an artist. Yeah, Tabo. Yes, that's right. That's right. As a man thinks in his heart, yeah, so is he. Absolutely, absolutely. And my dear brother, Pastor Tulani Shlope, is watching. Awesome, man. Good to see you. He says, I'm loving today's topic. Be careful how you think. Your life is, be careful how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts. Absolutely. I fully agree with you, man of God. So Napoleon Hill puts it this way. He once said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Now, there's two ways about that. Your mind can conceive that you are a nobody, and you believe that you are a nobody, you will achieve being a nobody. But if your mind can conceive that you are the greatest person alive, and you believe that you're the greatest person alive, the mind can achieve that mindset. If the mind can conceive that you are a billionaire and you believe that you will become a billionaire, guess what? If you walk towards it, you channel all the energy towards what you're believing. You channel all the energy and the resources towards your belief. And you believe that you're going to be the greatest. You're going to become a billionaire. Trust me when I say you can achieve that. If you put effort, if you put work into it, if you put determination into it, if you become unwaveringly resolute, there's no way you will not achieve it. There is no way you will not achieve it. He said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. The mind is a powerful tool when it comes to aspiring to success. It is a powerful tool. If you can use this thing right, if you can control this thinking tank, I'm telling you, nothing will be impossible. Things that you're dreaming of can be within your reach if you make use of this powerful tool in a good manner, in a great manner. I'm telling you, you will achieve the desires of your heart. Yeah. Tabo says, thank you for this session, man of God. I have learned this secret in 2018, and ever since then, I refuse to think of any other than greatness for myself. Absolutely. I fully agree with you, Tabo. That's a mindset of greatness. If you think that way, there is nothing stopping you. There is nothing stopping you. Obviously, there must be a balance. We must not only think, we must not only believe, but we must also work. We must put in the work in order to reap forth the results. So we have to also put in the work. Welcome to my beautiful wife. She's watching on Facebook. Welcome, honey. Good to see you. So if you can master your thoughts, you can master your life. Let me say that again. If you can master your thoughts, you can master your life. There are many people today who are troubled in terms of life, and they are stuck in one place, and they feel that they are not making progress. They feel stagnant, and the challenge is not that they can't master their life, but the challenge is that they cannot master their thoughts. If you can master your thoughts, you can master your life. So if you come across somebody who's decided that they're going to spend the whole day in a pub every single day, they're just going to drink their lives away. Or if you find somebody who says, I'm going to just sit and gossip about people the whole day, that is a person who has failed to master their lives. They have failed to master even their thoughts. But in order for you to thrive in life, it will first require of you to first master your thoughts. Because we become what we think. We become what we think. Remember today's topic, you are the ultimate reflection of your thoughts. No matter where you are in terms of life today, where you are today, you are there as a result of the thoughts you had previously. So you are where you are based on your yesterday's thinking, if I may put it that way. You are where you are today based on your yesterday's thinking. If you can master your thoughts, you can master your life. Welcome. Bafana Ngosi is watching on Facebook. Good to see you, son. And my daughter, Refilio Marema, is watching on Facebook. Welcome, daughter. Good to see you. We have also Tembis Kosana watching on YouTube. Welcome, my daughter. Good to see you guys. Thank you for tuning in. So, to change your life, you must first change your mind. If somebody says, I want to change my mind, like now we are headed for January. As soon as December is done, we are in January, and many people now will be putting together their New Year's resolutions and all that. But here's the thing. The reason why resolutions don't last, the reason why people never get to realize those resolutions is because they never change their mind. They want to change their lives, but they don't change their minds. And that's where the problem is. If you can change your mind, you can change your life. You can change your life. To change your life, you must first change your mind. Proverbs 23 and verse 7, as Tavo shared earlier, says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Now, the word think is the word estimate. It is the word to calculate. So, if you're thinking that by 2027, you must be driving a certain car, or by 2027, you must be living in a certain house. By 2027, you must have so much money in your bank account. What you are doing is that you are estimating. You are estimating. As you think, you are estimating. As you think, you are calculating. So the moment you think, you begin to calculate. And that is why many of us, we have to stay calculating. We have to stay calculating. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As a man estimates in his heart, so is he. As a man calculates in his heart, so is he. So you've got to calculate very well, and you can only calculate by thinking. So there are people who calculate towards the opposite direction. There are people who calculate that in the next 2 years they will be dead. You are calculating, and as you think in your mind, as you think in your heart, so are you. So you are killing yourself by so saying. You are killing yourself. So you've got to be very careful of your thoughts, and you must manage your thoughts with everything. That means when it comes to your mindset, when it comes to your mind, when it comes to your thinking, you must be very meticulous. You must be very, very attentive to what is happening in your mind. Because if you don't manage your thoughts, you cannot manage your life. You must be a person that is very careful when it comes to thoughts, because we are all a result of our thoughts. I'm where I am today because of my mindset. I'm where I am today because of my thinking pattern. And that's what we have to get right. Our thoughts construct who we become. That's what they do. They construct who we become. You must be very careful when it comes to thoughts, because your thoughts are building. Your thoughts are building. So whatever you think determines your tomorrow. If you're constantly thinking about, or you're constantly thinking in a certain manner, that manner will become a pattern, and that pattern will drive you to your tomorrow. And it matters what that pattern is taking you to. You become what you focus on. You become what you focus on. Wow, wow, wow. Alice Labase on YouTube. Welcome, Mama. Good to see you. Hey, nowadays our generation is really flying high. Thank you so much. I see Mama Alice Labase watching on YouTube. Good to see you, Mama. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you and love you. Awesome. So you become what you focus on. You become what you focus on, meaning that focus equals feeling. What you are thinking, you will begin to feel. What you are thinking, you will begin to feel. You become what you focus on, and you cannot focus unless you have thought. So everything originates from our thinking or our thoughts. Thoughts give rise to actions, and actions define who you are and how you engage in the world. That's what actions will do in your life. They will define who you are and how you engage in the world. Welcome, my daughter Tandega Matsimela is watching on Facebook. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. So, what I like about thoughts is that we have control over them. That's what I like about thoughts. We have control over them. You need to decide. You can be an engineer and a CEO of your thought life. There are many people who have become slaves of their thought lives because everything they think they just fall prey to. But by right, you and I are both an engineer and CEO of our thinking pattern or our thoughts. You must be a CEO. Now, when we say you are a CEO, that means you are the chief executive officer of your thoughts, meaning that you can fire your thoughts, or you can employ your thoughts, or you can entertain your thoughts, or you can suspend your thoughts, and you can promote your thoughts. That's what being a CEO is all about. An engineer is somebody that will be able to take something small and build it into something great, bringing that idea and systems in place to take us to the next level. So, as an engineer, you must take right thoughts and build from those thoughts. With those thoughts, build a great future for yourself, your children, and the empire that you're building. All that can originate from your mind. And it can only happen when you become both an engineer and a CEO of your mind or of your life. We have about 6,000 thoughts per day. Unbelievable, hey? Imagine 6,000 thoughts play a part in your life on a daily basis. And it's something that we never pay attention to. We never take cognizance of. But an average human being has about 6,000 thoughts on a daily basis. Now, there is no way that amongst those thoughts, there isn't something good that can change your life. And amongst those 6,000 thoughts, there's also the devil throwing thoughts in your mind so that he may destroy you. And in order for you to become massively powerful, you don't need 6,000 thoughts. You need only one thought, and the right one, and a powerful thought, if I may put it that way. If you can have the right thoughts and you maximize on how you're thinking, I'm telling you, nothing will stop you. Nothing will stop you. So many of us, there are people who get up to no good on a daily basis, and they never progress in life. They just keep going down. They get up to no good, and they accomplish whatever that is bad on a daily basis, because out of all the thoughts that are pounding into their mind, they entertain all those bad thoughts and they ignore all the good thoughts. And as a result, we find ourselves becoming nobodies in life, and we are remembered for bad stuff. And that is why, out of all the thoughts that find their way into your mind, make sure that you become the CEO and the engineer of what comes into your mind. However, we are not conscious of what we are thinking because it has been automated in our subconscious minds. Your thoughts have the power to program your tomorrow. That's how your tomorrow comes. So your thoughts have power to program your tomorrow. What is happening in your mind is like a computer. So what happens in your mind is there's some sort of programming taking place in your mind. And it depends what you entertain. It depends what you entertain. You don't become what you entirely think about, but you become the thoughts you entertain. until they become a habit. What you entertain will eventually become a habit. And once it becomes a habit, then it becomes your tomorrow. It becomes your life. So that's where many of us lose it in life. That's where many of us lose it in life. Yeah. Tabo says the Bible urges us to think on the things which are noble, good, and consistent with the Word of God. This helps us fire those negative thoughts as the CEO of our mind. I fully agree with you, Tabo. And Refilwe Marema says, powerful topic, Dad. You become what you focus on. At some point in my life, I went through depression. I realize now that it was because I was focusing on my problems and negative thoughts. That's a very good comment. That's a very good comment. We have to be very mindful of what we are thinking about. And don't entertain negativity. Everything negative. Don't entertain your problems, because whatever you entertain, it grows. It grows. So never entertain negative news, never entertain bad news, never entertain problems in your life. Always make sure that you replace that with the truth of God, like Tabo says. We have to align our minds consistently with the Word of God. Bafana Nkosi says, I hear you, Dad. I'm learning what we focus on becomes our reality. Focusing on one right thought can be a game changer. Absolutely. Absolutely. I fully agree with you. I fully agree with you. So, sorry, I'm just trying to get that comment right there. Awesome. If someone is a womanizer, the issue there is their thought pattern. If they say somebody is a womanizer, the issue there is not a person. The issue is their mind. Their mind is corrupt. Their mind is a faulty thought pattern, or there is a faulty thought pattern in their minds. And that is why they are behaving that way. No one was born that way. You must remember, your life becomes what you are entertaining in here. You can never become what you've never entertained here. So, as a result of becoming a junkie or a druggie, it started with you thinking, let me try this thing. And because you entertained those thoughts and that urge and that temptation, as a result, you ended up becoming addicted to that stuff. And today, you're called a junkie or a druggie. As painful as it is, but it resulted from your thoughts. It resulted from your thoughts. If someone is greedy, the issue there is how they think. It's how they think. Greed, it's something that has been developed over time. So the mindset, that particular person's mindset, is that I have to get as much as I can for as long as I can. That's how greed operates. And it's a mind. It's their thought pattern. And also, likewise, generosity is a mindset. Generosity is a thought pattern. So when you find somebody stingy, you must realize that it's how they think. That's how they think. So you and I must be very careful when it comes to our thoughts. We must we must channel our thoughts into the direction that we would love to be admired for in a later stage or in future. Your brain operates like a learning software. It operates like a learning software. That's how your brain operates. And without thoughts, your brain cannot achieve much. Without thoughts, you cannot achieve much. And that is why we've read earlier now, according to Proverbs 23:7, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So before we move in life, we first think. And it matters how you are thinking. It matters what you are entertaining in your mind and in your head. So at times we become slaves of the program that originated from our thoughts. We become slaves of a program that originated from our thoughts. When you see somebody having become a serial killer, that was a program that was presented to their thoughts by the enemy. So meaning that Satan did what we call a programming in their mind, and they entertain that. They entertain that, and as a result, they have become slaves of the programming, of satanic programming in their minds. Yeah. Mfundisi Hlophe says, then God says, my thoughts are not your thoughts. Yeah. It is critical that we x-ray our thoughts through his word. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything we do, we must make sure that we put it on the altar of God to see if it can withstand the fire on the altar. And that's the word of God. That's the word of God. We need to allow the word of God to reframe our thinking patterns. We have to allow the word of God to reconstruct our thinking patterns. God, yourself, and Satan can present a programming to your mind. It is up to you. Who are you going to submit to? But on a daily basis, God, yourself, and Satan are presenting something to you in your mind, in your thinking platform. It matters what you entertain. If you entertain what is of God, it will benefit you. But if you entertain what is of Satan, it will rob you tomorrow. So you and I have to be very careful of the programming that takes place in our minds. Who is programming our minds? Is it God? Is it Satan? Or is it your selfish ambitions that you are entertaining? Rewiring your brain takes time. And that's what many of us we would want to do, because I think many of us have all done that. I believe most of the people that are here are people who were Christians and you are following Christ. And what you and I are undergoing now currently, or have undergone, is the rewiring of our minds. Because the moment you become Christian and you are faithful as a child of God, what takes place in your life is what we call a rewiring. It's a rewiring. And that's what we need. Rewiring your brain, however, it takes time. For those of us who have experienced metamorphosis in our lives, transformation in our lives, we all know it didn't happen overnight, but it took time. It takes time to rewire your mind. Imagine if you used to get up to no good on a daily basis for many, many years. Trust me when I say to you, that will not change in one night. It will not change in one night. Rewiring will never happen overnight. Welcome, Doomzat. Tumelo is watching on YouTube. Welcome, son. Good to see you. Taro says it is interesting to find out that the mind is involved even in salvation. Absolutely. You have to think what degree of love caused a man to die for you. And this conceives gratitude and a touch in heart to be transformed and live for this man that died for you. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true, Tabo. So when you say someone has changed, you are saying that their brain has gone through the rewiring process. That's what happens when somebody has changed, or when you say somebody has changed, it means that a rewiring has taken place in their lives. Because some of us, we've got what we call a faulty wiring, and electricians will understand that much better. Um, if your wiring at home is faulty, you are not going to enjoy your electricity. You are not going to enjoy it because it will give you problems. There will always be shorts and all that. And if the moment you get it right, it's the moment you are able to enjoy the benefits of having electricity. So the moment we lose it in life, the moment we entertain wrong thoughts, all we will need in order for us to get back on the right track is a rewiring. We need a perfect rewiring. And that can only be done by God and none other. Only God can do that. Today we are products of God's rewiring. I mean, God had to rewire me. He had to rewire me. I mean, I had lost who I was, and I started living for the world. I was consumed by the world, and everything was to please the world. And in order for me to walk with God faithfully and consistently, I had to go through a stringent kind of rewiring. And that's what certain people need in order for them to be back on the right track in their lives. Your mind is a garden. That's what you need to understand. Your mind is a garden and your thoughts are seeds. So every single day, God will plant seeds in your mind. Satan will plant seeds in your mind. And that mind is a garden. So it matters what you're going to water. It matters what you're going to cultivate. So if it's a bad seed, don't cultivate it. If it's a seed from God, entertain it, cultivate it. So somebody today is being called a thief or an armed robber simply because in his garden, bad thoughts and faulty thoughts were planted or were sowed in his garden. And that particular person entertained what was sowed into that garden. And today, they are now labeled as a thief or an armed robber. That's the thing. What you entertain over time, you become. The thoughts you entertain over time, you become. You become. You can never become without having first thought. We become our thoughts. Everything, every result you see in our lives has come as a result of thinking and entertaining the thoughts in our minds. Your mind cannot give direction to your mind. Your mind cannot give direction to your mind. Yeah. That's the job of the real you. As much as thoughts can come to our mind, your mind cannot give direction to your mind. But it is you that can give direction to your mind. So if your mind is saying we are going left, you are going to decide whether I'm going to entertain the thoughts that are saying I'm taking left, even though the right way is right. You are the one to decide. So tomorrow, don't blame your mind because you've got power over your mind. I said earlier, you are an engineer and a CEO of your mind and your thoughts. And only you can direct it because you are a spiritual being. Each and every person watching me now, you are a spiritual being. Whether you acknowledge it or not, but you are a spiritual being. Everything that flows right through us will flow through will flow through the spirit, will flow by this via the spirit man. On this earth, we function as co-creators. We function as co-creators. Whatever you see or whatever you sense in your mind, you've got power to create what you saw in your mind. If you see somebody who has built a beautiful house, a massive house, and this is a house that they thought about and they gave their design to the architect, or they gave the impression to the architect that this is what I see, this is what I want, I feel I want you to do. The architect will design based on what you have thought and bring it to reality. So that's how we operate in life. We are co-creators. Our God is the creator, and he has ordained us or called us to co-create with him. So as you see houses built, buildings, bigger buildings built all over the world, men co-created those buildings. God created those things in their minds. They took what was in their minds, they co-created in the natural. You must take control of your mind, and okay, let's put it this way. You must take control of your mind and will it to behave any way you wish. That's the right way. And will it to behave any way you wish. So you must take control of your mind. And your mind must be willed by you. You must will it to behave any way you wish. That's what you must do when it comes to your mind. Yeah. And also, I'm trying to remember where I was getting there. Our physical fitness, our bank balance, our occupation, and our home, all these things, they reflect how we have been thinking. Can I repeat that for you? Your physical fitness, your bank balance currently, your occupation currently, and your home currently, they all reflect how you have been thinking and what you have come to believe about yourself over time. We are products of our thoughts. We are products of our thoughts. Remember, you think, then you make a decision. Then you give birth. You give birth. So we are products of our thoughts. Some people have what we call self-limiting mental patterns. There are many people with self-limiting mental patterns. I'm sure you've heard of people who always say wrong stuff, wrong things about themselves. And we all know wrong thoughts will equal wrong future. If the thoughts are wrong, the future will be wrong. Some thought patterns need to be cut out. There are certain thought patterns that need to be cut out from our lives. You cannot be constantly prophesying upon yourself that you don't think you are created for big things. What are you doing? What are you doing to yourself? What are you doing to yourself? It is a self-limiting mental pattern. You are saying, no, I don't think I will qualify. You are limiting yourself. It is a self-limiting mental pattern. You are what you believe you are. You are what you believe you are. Where you are currently, you are where you are today based on how you believe or what you believe in. It's very important what you believe. The great L. Nightingale puts it this way. He says, we become what we think about. We become what we think about. Your thoughts are the foundation of all the results you produce in life. What are you producing today in your life? Because your thoughts are the foundation of all the results you produce in life today. What is it that you're producing? We create with our thoughts. We create with our thoughts. With your thoughts, you can decide where you're going to stay. With your thoughts, you can decide. You can decide whether I'm going to stay in a certain suburb, I'm going to stay in a certain lofty area. All those things will come and will be produced by your thoughts. They will be produced by your thoughts. If you can't see yourself there, there's no way you're going to live there. Excuse me. If you can't envision yourself there, there's no way you're going to make it there. So, with your thoughts, you can decide where you're going to stay. With your thoughts, you can decide what car you're going to drive. With your thoughts. With your thoughts. Today, we are the result of our thoughts. With your thoughts, you can decide what kind of work you'd like to do. With your thoughts, you can decide how much money you wish to earn. You can decide with your thoughts. But what can limit you is what you believe or don't believe. If you believe, you will earn good money. If you believe, you will live a better life. If you believe, you will create a better life for you and your children. If you believe, you can achieve it. But if you don't believe it, then you cannot achieve it. So your thoughts can either limit you or your thoughts can either elevate you. But it all starts with the thoughts. Your thought process is a very important tool in your life. It's a very important tool in your life. Tabo says, I remember someone saying some people are created for poverty. I got so infuriated, I had to walk away from that space. Sure. Yeah, no, that's very bad. That's very bad. And it all has to do with the wiring. It all has to do with the wiring. It's a faulty wiring. It needs reframing. Your thoughts determine if you speak life or death. Absolutely. Bafana Ngosi says the process of unlearning is much harder than learning new things. It is very important not to learn what was not meant to be learned. Today, I'm still fighting to unlearn some bad habits. Absolutely. If we spend a very long time learning bad habits, it's going to take us a long time to unlearn those bad habits. And it takes place through rewiring. Rewiring. We have to rewire ourselves in a right manner. So, and when I say that, okay, let me put it this way rather. I said that you decide by Your thoughts, where you're going to stay tomorrow, the things you're going to acquire tomorrow, you decide through your thoughts. By so saying, I'm saying that's your self concept, or that's where your self concept comes from. How you channel your thoughts into creating the desires of your heart, or your desired outcomes, or your goals. That's your self concept. God can do great things, or God cannot do great things through you if your thoughts are limiting you. As much as God might want to do greater things through you, if your thoughts are limiting you, there's nothing that God can do in your life. There's nothing great that God can do in your life, because your thoughts are up against what God is trying to do. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So if your thoughts are limiting you, as much as as powerful as God is, there isn't much that God can do in your life if your thoughts are self-limiting. Your mind holds the power to shape your reality. That's what your mind does. It holds the power to shape your reality. If we believe we can be successful, more often than not, we will be successful. We will be successful. If we believe we won't be successful, then we often fail. If we don't believe we will be successful, we will fail in life. Everything starts with believing. Everything starts with having faith that you will make it, and entertaining right thoughts in your mind. You become what you think about most of the time. My question for you today is, what do you think about most of the time? What do you think about most of the time? Because you become what you think about most of the time. Your personal masterpiece will be manifest in the physical realm. You're in the right place, are influenced by the living God. You can either be held captive by your thoughts, or you can be set free by your thoughts. I don't know where you are in terms of your life currently, but here's the thing. You can either be held captive by your thoughts, or you can be set free by your very thoughts. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you guys. I really appreciate your tuning in. I believe you are blessed by tonight's session. And for in case if you haven't yet purchased my book, The Call of God, it's only selling for 200 Rand. Please invest in this resource if you don't have it yet, for only 200 Rand. And you can DM me if you want it, or get it in one of our websites, any of our websites, www.blackiconic.co.za or www.thehouseofprayerministries.co.za. This book will bless you, and it will give you understanding concerning your purpose here on earth. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you, and I believe that you are blessed by today's session. Please do me the favor, share the feed, and let people who missed out tune in and catch up. God bless you. Thank you. I'll see you next week, same place, same time. Before I let you go, just know that next week we are connecting for the very last time for this year. So our last session for 2020, 2024, oh my God, where am I now? Our last session for 2024 is next week, Wednesday. Wednesday, the 11th of December will be our last session for Wednesdays with Pastor K 2024. And we will reconnect again in 2025. But much will be said next week, will be discussed next week. And next week, please do me a favor. Come and share with us on the topics that have impacted you throughout the year. I want us to quickly recap on the entire year, and I want you to please share with me in the comments next week to say, these are the topics that impacted me throughout the year. And I want us to revisit those topics and talk about them. And that's the only way we're going to engage next week. So if you're not engaging, if you've got nothing to remember, then we're not going to last very long for next week. We can only chat for as long as you are able to share with me what has impacted you concerning Wednesdays with Pastor K throughout the year 2024. So we're going to do a quick recap for 2024. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you all next week, same place, same time. God bless you.